and welcome to Newsroom series, this edition covering the Northeast. The headlines. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed pledges to extend his infrastructure development initiative to every corner of the state. Gombe state government moves ahead with plans to turn the state's economy around to attract local and foreign investors. And Adamawa state government initiates community development projects. Thank you for staying tuned. Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State has pledged to extend his infrastructure development initiative to every corner of the state. This declaration was made during the commencement of the groundbreaking ceremony for 14 roads spanning the 3 senatorial districts in the state. The roads are expected to connect various communities and enhance transportation networks, stimulate economic progress, and improve the overall standard of living for residents of the state. Our correspondent Hajara Aliu reports.
Governor Bala Mohammed is spearheading a major infrastructure development in Bauchi State, which involves the construction of more than 200 kilometers of rural and urban roads. The governor kicked off the ambitious initiative with a groundbreaking ceremony in Darazu local government area of Bauchi Central Senatorial District as he officially inaugurates construction of the 22-kilometer Darazu-Gabchari road, awarded at the cost of over 2.6 billion naira.
I am particularly impressed by the governor's commitment to ensuring this project reach as many communities of our state as possible, recognizing the diverse needs of the people.
Moving to Shira local government area in Bauchi North, the governor also inaugurates the construction of a 29-kilometer Galdemari-Bailey-Zigao road. This project aims to enhance connectivity and transportation in the area.
What we are doing in Bauchi is to make sure that there is justice and equity. Every part of the state is put on the table, and we'll look at it not on the basis of election, but on the basis of good governance, equity and justice, to make sure we address our infrastructural deficit and other social amenities.
Still in the northern senatorial district, the rehabilitation work of a 29-kilometer road from Adamawa to Desina to Jama'ari has also been awarded.
Inshallah, we promise to execute the work within the schedule, time frame, and very quality, inshallah.
During the tour, Governor Mohammed also inspected the progress of the ongoing construction of the 25-kilometer Itas to Gadao road, which commenced in 2021.
This is going to be the longest, most expensive bridge in Bauchi. They have just told me that by April or May, they will finish this road completely, 100%, inshallah.
Additionally, several other road projects were inaugurated in the 2 districts. These include the dualization of a 7-kilometer road in Misau, the dualization of a 5.2-kilometer road in Azare, and the dualization of a 2.6-kilometer township road in Jama'ari. Governor Mohammed will continue launching such groundbreaking projects across other parts of the state. Hajara Aliyu, Channels Television News.
Traders in Yobe State have joined the protests against economic hardship in the country, albeit by seeking divine intervention. The traders gathered at the Eid ground in Potiskum, the state's commercial town, for the prayers. Chairman of the association, Mr. Nasiru Mato, told journalists that the removal of the fuel subsidy has created hardship to both the buyers and the sellers. Mr. Mato further explained the distribution of food palliatives by the federal government has only provided succor for a very short period of time.
In some places, they have already started some protests. So as we discuss with our members and other people, that's why we decided to call our members for prayer. So we are not going out for protest. The challenges are, for example, high cost of materials like food items, other things. Since the government removed this subsidy, seriously, we marketers, we are facing serious challenges, serious ones, especially during this time. Things are hard. Things are not easy. There is no money, no food. People are hungry. To me, I'm not taking palliatives as a way forward, because we have a lot of youths who are seeking for jobs, who want to join us for businesses. So if you give palliative to somebody, it's just a matter of 1 day or 2 days, it will finish. What is the other days that are coming? Well, we are hoping, we are calling on the federal government, the state government, and other local governments to at least make a committee so that to subsidize this thing for us, not palliatives.
Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State says his administration's inability to relocate refugees and other internally displaced persons back to host communities is due to the insecurity challenges caused by the change of government in Niger Republic. He says his administration is rather providing alternative relief for the displaced people by empowering them with agricultural and technical assistance to sustain them while in temporary camps. The governor stated this during a working visit to Damasak, headquarters of Mobar local government area of the state.
Damasak is one of the communities on the bank of Lake Chad, some 10 kilometers to Difa province in Niger Republic. The community is the headquarters of Mobar local government, one of the areas affected by the Boko Haram insurgency. The military have reclaimed the area from the insurgents. Its proximity to the Lake Chad Basin makes Damasak a hub of agricultural, fishing and pastoral activities. The town is also hosting internally displaced persons as well as refugees from Niger Republic. This is impacting the infrastructure in the camps. Governor Babagana Zulum is in the community to assess the situation and look at options available to address the challenge.
By now, we could have supposed to have resettled Manpaperi community, but because of the ongoing crisis in Niger, we couldn't do so. However, I'm optimistic that the crisis will be resolved. And now I'm optimistic that the federal government will create alternatives, an alternative to this problem, so that the military will completely overtake some of the areas that hitherto being supported by the Nigerian army.
Some of the returnees share their experiences.
I was into farming in Niger Republic. But when the coup took place, our farms were seized from us. I had to relocate to the camp to source for livelihood. My family, my aged parents are still in Niger Republic, languishing in hunger.
Governor Zulum afterwards supervises the distribution of relief materials to the refugees.
We were being taken care of during the regime of Bazoum, but since the military took over, nobody cared about us. We were languishing. We heard about the gestures of the governor, so we decided to return to Damasak to survive.
Alhamdulillah, so now we don't have any problem with them. We accommodated them. In fact, we even provided them some pieces of farmland in order to farm so as to sustain their livelihood for now.
The governor also promised to designate 2 petrol stations in the community to ease the distribution of petroleum products to farmers at subsidized rates.
The efforts of the Adamawa state government in collaboration with Oxfam, the German government and other international development partners to fast-track rehabilitation of communities devastated by insurgency in the northern part of the state has entered a new phase with a flag-off of project's implementation grant competition. Chairman of the Adamawa State Planning Commission, Mary Palama, says the new strategy is to encourage communities affected by insurgency to initiate and implement projects funded by government and development partners.
A key component of the new approach to achieving sustained and inclusive community development planning, as initiated by the Adamawa State government, is the training and mobilization of those that will carry out the implementation. The training is to take place in Michika local government area of Adamawa State for representatives of insurgency-ravaged communities and is in collaboration with Oxfam Germany and other development partners who will compete to determine which community implements the best people-oriented projects.
Michika local government was the first to really come up to implement the citizens' participatory policy program, and now Guyuk and Gombe was also part of it. So, everything has to be done in phases. Our desire and our plan is that it will go across all the areas affected, especially by insurgency, and then other areas, that are ravaged by poverty.
Country Director of Oxfam, Tijani Ahmed, commends the Adamawa State government for being steadfast in this community development partnership.
The project will typically actually try to integrate the lessons and learning and also complement this particular project. It's not going to be a project that will work with a new set of people. Women will be targeted, IDPs will be targeted, returnees will be targeted, persons with disabilities will be targeted. So just to inform you that please be ready to see how you can all benefit from this project.
A member of a benefiting community believes the initiative will encourage speedy development process as northeastern states continue the rebuilding process after years of insurgency.
If I go back to my community, I will tell them that this program we are doing now, as I am one of the WDSC member, I will communicate to them that it's very, very important and it will help the community in terms of development.
Why are we launching this? All competing communities that meet the required criteria in project planning, mobilization, and execution will have the opportunity to get more funding for a greater number of projects.
And still to come after the break, the Nigerian Army is assuring residents of Taraba State of its unwavering determination to flush out bandits and kidnappers. This and more after this time out. Join us again. Welcome back. The Nigerian Army is assuring residents of Taraba State of its unwavering determination to flush out bandits, kidnappers, and overcome the security threats bedeviling some parts of the state. The commanding officer, 20 Model Battalion, Serti, in Gashaka local government area of the state, Lieutenant Colonel Abidemi Ogidon, stated this during the 2023 West Africa social activities. He adds that the Nigerian Army will not condone acts capable of threatening the sovereignty of the country.
The West African social activities is an age-long practice in the Nigerian Army that brings soldiers and their families together to unwind alongside sister security agencies. It usually marks the end of one training year and the beginning of another. After battling insecurity in varying dimensions, the forum provides an avenue for the military to improve civil-military relationships. Some of the activities engaged in include display of African dishes, cultural dance, tug of war, and much more. Yes. Nevertheless, the security of the people is top on the mind of the Army.
Permit me to use this occasion to pledge our loyalty and once again affirm our unwavering commitment to the hierarchy of the Nigerian Army under the leadership of the Chief of Army Staff to the Brigade Commander. Of this unit's dedication is realized in furtherance of Nigerian Army's mission and ultimately in the defense of the territorial integrity of our dear country, Nigeria.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, is represented by the 6th Brigade Commander, and he assures the troops of enhancing their welfare for optimum productivity.
The primary objective of a social gathering of this nature to foster comradeship and cohesion among officers, men and their families, as well as our sister services, and enhancing civil-military relationship with civil members of the host community. As we commence the activities of this year, we are highly committed to carrying out the directives outlined in the 2024 Nigerian Army forecast of events. To our gallant and indefatigable troops, let me assure you that I will continue to find ways to enhance your welfare and provide the necessary facilities that will enable you carry out your tasks effectively.
The traditional rulers represented at the occasion say they believe in prayers as additional weapon for the troops to ensure that peace reigns in all troubled parts of the state.
This is a very, they are duty bound to protect their territorial integrity. We, as traditional rulers, we always rally around them, pray for them to see that when we, the people in our community, we live peacefully and without any insurgency. So with the presence of Nigerian Army, it boosts our confidence, and we are sure that they will live to expectation.
Some of the soldiers who have demonstrated bravery in the fight against insecurity, intelligence gathering, and ensured the return of peace to the areas where they were deployed were honored and urged to sustain the tempo.
Still in Taraba State, Governor Abukefa says his administration will uphold the principle of good governance as well as maintain the trust and confidence of citizens to ensure positive reforms in the state civil service. The governor, who was speaking at an event to inaugurate the state's new head of service, commits to ensuring transparency, accountability, and meritocracy in appointments. According to him, the head of service must ensure efficient functioning of the state civil service for optimum productivity. And on his part, the new head of service is assuring the governor of working in line with his blueprint by training civil servants in the state to deliver on their mandate.
This occasion symbolizes not only the culmination of an arduous journey for our new head of service, but also the beginning of a new chapter in the history of our state civil service. And this is a testament to our commitment to transparency, accountability, and meritocracy in the governance of the state. We must do things on merit. As a person, I firmly believe that the strength of any administration lies in the caliber of individuals entrusted with the responsibility of steering the ship of the state. The role of the head of service is pivotal in ensuring the efficient functioning of our civil service, which serves as the backbone of our government machinery. Lobby has been going on this particular appointment, but I stood my ground that it must be on merit, irrespective of where the person is coming from. To the new head of service, your dedication, competence, and integrity have been recognized. So to this, I have no doubt that you will discharge your duties with utmost professionalism and commitment.
Gombe State has consistently waxed from strength to strength in economic ratings at national and international levels, the most recent being PCL PCL's AAA Excellent Performance Rating, placing Gombe first among the 36 states of the Federation in economic growth, transformative economic and fiscal policies, with significant and far-reaching investment in health, education, the economy, infrastructure, environment, and human capital development. And regionally speaking, the report places Gombe State ahead and shoulders higher than all the states in the northeast, despite years of insurgency in the sub-region. According to available data, Inuwa Yahaya had inherited a state with an excess of 110 billion naira and borrowings to pay salaries in 2019, but transformed her into a state with less dependency on federal government allocations and steady economic growth.
Gombe State is one of the northeastern states in Nigeria with a growing economy, vast natural areas, as well as abundant arable land. In 2019, before Inuwa Yahaya took office, Gombe State struggled to pay salaries, borrowing every month to keep head above water. During his first term, Governor Yahaya launched a visionary 10-year development plan known as Devagam for the year 2021 to 2030, which touches on creating a sustainable environment, infrastructure, economic and social development, governance and administration. The plan is fully aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which also forms the basis for medium-term sector strategy and annual budgeting processes for the state. To cite a few examples of the state's progress, the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council rated Gombe as the best state in the ease of doing business 2 years in a row, 2021 and in 2022.
The Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya administration has come, a totally different administration because we've seen reforms that have enabled the state to not only be identified as one of the most well-governed states in the country, but also one of the best, destinations for business, one of the safest states in the country, one of the states that is peaceful.
Political economist Abdul Kadri Saleh gives his opinion on Gombe State's ratings.
Take an example of Dadinko Industrial Park, that there was huge investment to create an enabling environment for industries and factories to strive. By these ingredients, I think it's justifiable to say that if we can have the industries to utilize this enabling environment, definitely Gombe will be a havoc for industries and factories, particularly agro-allied.
For the state government, these successes are the result of intentional economic policies painstakingly implemented by the Inuwa Yahaya government.
Immediately, he set up a committee to kickstart the process of, coming up with a development plan. And the development plan was, was brought to the fore and thereafter launched, and now is carefully and meticulously implementing that development plan. That is why you see things happening in Gombe. Anywhere, anytime there's any competition on anything, any sector, you see Gombe coming first.
Governor Yahaya says his vision is to turn Gombe State into a model economy for others to emulate by turning challenges into opportunities and provide effective solutions to problems.
And that sums it up on the program Newsroom series, this edition covering the Northeast. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again next week. I am Bukola Koka.